For hundreds of years, composers and musicians have used the same musical content to create a variety of musical statements. Whether you're listening to a Bach piano prelude, a D'Angelo neo soul groove, a Dream Theater progressive rock piece, or a Maroon 5 pop tune, they all consist of the same elements contained within rhythm, melody, harmony, orchestration, and form. So, when trying to understand how to interpret a piece of music, it's the style that gives us the context. And this is super important. While a lot of stylistic understanding comes from listening and playing with others who are experts within a particular style, there are some things that can be broken down academically to help you gain a broader perspective of interpretation within a context of a given style. Jazz is unique in many ways and can be difficult to interpret due to the way the rhythms are felt. Although jazz eighth notes are written the same as you would see any ordinary eighth note written, it's felt differently, and this is sometimes overlooked when you're beginning to just get into jazz. Swing eighth notes are interpreted within a triplet subdivision where the first eighth note has 2/3 of the value for each beat. The second eighth note only has 1/3 of the beat's value, but is often played with a slight accent. Okay, so if we look at straight eighth notes and how they're counted, it's going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So if you then looked at triplets and see how they're counted, it's going to be like this. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Now what we need to do is we need to take the first two of those eighth note triplets and tie them together. So notice if we have 3 notes within the space of 1 beat, which equals the triplet grouping, 2 of those notes, the first 2, are going to be tied together. This is so the first note of the jazz or swing eighth note is going to be worth 2/3 of 1 beat. So this is going to go like this, where we tie those together. So we're going to have 2 notes, but it's going to be under the umbrella of the triplet grouping. It's going to sound like this. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Now when we equate that to the swing eighth note, what we're basically doing is still visualizing the notes to be as eighths. And if you saw a chart written for jazz, it would all be written as eighth notes unless it was a defined triplet that was being played. So you would have something like this. You'd basically be written as eighths, but you'd be counting it as more swing eighths. So instead of the straight eighths would be here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you'd have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, so here's a cool little tip to take away in regard to swing eighth notes. The slower the tempo, the more swing is applied. The faster the tempo, the less swing is applied. So when you have those really fast bebop tunes that are like at between 250 and 350 beats per minute, things like Cherokee, Oleo, there's really no swing applied at those fast tempos. So they're really felt at sort of straight eighths at those particular tempos, or if you're going to cut the tempo in half to feel it in halftime, it'd be straight 16s. So this is something that's really not talked a lot about in jazz education, and can be really difficult when you're first trying to get these things together. So if we take the first 4 bars of a Charlie Parker solo, I'm going to play it as straight eighth notes, and then I'm going to apply the triplet transposition method to demonstrate how this should be interpreted and felt in context. If you're interested in becoming a better improvising bass player and learning great musical content from arpeggios to grooves, then subscribe to my channel now. If you like this video today, then be sure to support my channel by giving it a big thumbs up. And if you really like this video, then please check out my books, my membership website, and my Skype lessons. Until next time, practice smart, work hard, and play creatively.